Wrestling fans are the absolute worst. They're tribal, they're fickle, sometimes they're even toxic, but on the other hand, without them, we have nothing. If the very thought of interacting with pro wrestling fans fills your soul with dread and fills your head with visions of awkward interactions, I'm here to help. I'm Mike Quackenbush, this is Till We Make It, and if you're not yet a member of the Till We Make It tribe, subscribe right now, and thanks. To frame this conversation, let's recognize that not all consumers of professional wrestling are necessarily fans of you specifically, and yet every single person who buys a ticket to come and see a wrestling event where you or I happen to be wrestling, they are our customer. And I think that's an important distinction. You have probably noticed that I never use the term mark here on the channel, or anywhere else for that matter. And that's because I find that term to be equally outdated and odorous. To invoke the carnival era term mark and then to assign that to our customers effectively makes us into con men, because it's con men who prey upon gullible marks. They put one over on the mark. They take the mark's money. And I don't think that's what we're doing as professional wrestlers. I think it's important to recognize that our entire audience, they are our customers, but only a select subset of those customers will likely be fans of yours or of mine specifically. Today's video addresses that subset of fans, the part of the wrestling customer base who happen to be fans of you specifically. They enjoy your matches. They enjoy your character. They're already following your progress throughout your career. They follow you on social media and engage with you there. And even if you imagine that right now there's no one out there who happens to admire your work, I want to assure you, people are seeing what you're doing. They are paying attention. And if you end up doing this for longer than a cup of coffee, if you do pro wrestling for any length of time, inevitably, you will meet the people who have been following your career virtually from the beginning. That's when you're going to have one of these interactions. And just so you and I are on the same page, I'm not talking about a passing interaction like when you high-five a fan on the way to the ring. That's not what I'm talking about in this video. I mean, when a fan happens to accost you before the event has ever begun, they find you out in the parking lot just as you're pulling your roller bag out of the back seat of your car. Or maybe you're setting up your merchandise at your table in preparation for intermission, and there they are. Or perhaps you're trying to slip out at the end of the night to make it to the diner before they close, and this fan interaction is going to happen. And today, I want to give you 3 essentials to load onto your hard drive so you feel prepared and you do not dread the inevitable fan interaction. Up first, although to you this interaction will feel like a first meeting, it won't feel that way to them. It doesn't feel that way to your fan. Because they have been following your career through social media, television, or whatever means, they believe they know you to some extent. Even though many fans are well aware that the real person and the pro wrestling character, they are not the same. But because of their fandom, they will imagine they have a deeper connection to you that is much deeper than a first meeting. And so in order to get this right, treat them as a friend, not as a customer. I know, for many working pros out there, this can be off-putting. When a fan presumes a degree of familiarity, that can be a bit jarring. It's weird when a stranger imagines that they know you. I get it. Here's what you must understand though. Being a professional wrestler makes you a public figure. And so you're going to have to get comfortable and acclimate to that presumption of familiarity from fans. Whenever possible, meet them with warmth and friendliness. If you want to learn more about topics just like this one, I've got over 200 full-length videos, which never appear here on my YouTube channel. They're exclusively available over on Patreon right now. And recent videos I've made include topics like the real objections promoters have to booking you, balancing your 9-to-5 job with your burgeoning wrestling career, a frank look at the WWE's ID system, some intriguing insight I gleaned by getting raw feedback from a family of 4 right after they saw their first independent wrestling card, and tons more. It's available to my patrons, and it could be available to you too. Follow the link, which is down below in the descriptus. Up second, and this one is essential. The way you handle this fan interaction will have one of 2 outcomes. The first outcome is positive because that person will feel validated in their fandom, and the result is that they have an even stronger bond to you, your character, and your journey. But that second outcome is negative, and in this case, it breaks the connection. If a genuine fan comes up to me to express how my last match made them feel, or what they thought of the last promo that I posted, and I tell them to either buy something from my merch table or get lost, I just lost a fan forever. That's the negative outcome. What a fan wants in these interactions is to feel seen and to feel appreciated. And if you can do that for them, and it does mean things like being comfortable holding eye contact with a complete stranger, being able to thank them sincerely whether they buy something from your merchandise table or not, the result will be positive. You will strengthen that bond, that connection. This next one is really important, and I need you to understand it. Third, it's always okay to have boundaries. Things you won't discuss with fans. Things you won't do during these fan interactions. That is always okay. Just because a fan learned your legal name from your Wikipedia page doesn't mean they get to call you that. Doesn't mean you have to oblige a request to sign your real name to something. But so that you don't end up breaking connections with fans during these kinds of interactions, you have to have an idea in mind how you're going to handle them. You have to do a little preparation so that you feel comfortable drawing a line in the sand. Generally speaking, fans don't mean to offend, but they won't automatically know where your boundaries are. That's why I like to prepare by having a soft line in the sand, a bit of a warning shot at the ready, and only if they totally miss that do I draw a clearer, harder line in the sand. I'll give you an example of exactly that. So for the purpose of this, let's say that my legal name is Bruce. It's not, but just for the purpose of this example. And a fan comes up to me at a wrestling event and starts calling me Bruce. Drawing a soft line in the sand, it sounds like this.
There's no Bruce here. It's all Mike Quackenbush tonight. What do you like to be called? Tell me your name.
And whatever name that fan likes to be called, honor it. This accomplishes 2 things. 1, the line is friendly. It's a little bit playful. But 2, it shows that I'm going to respect what you like to be called because I am expecting you to do the same for me. So if that fan says their name is Shazam, well, Billy, I'm going to call you Shazam. But perhaps this isn't enough to put the fan interaction on the proper track. What if they overstep? What if they come back with something like, come on, I know your real name is Bruce. I read it online. Well, of course, you could take a second crack with another soft line in the sand. You could say something like, well, you can't believe everything you read on the internet these days. However, in my experience, one shot is what they get. And then at that point, it's up to me to draw a hard line in the sand. And if you must do this, be prepared to do it in a manner that is both clear and concise. It would sound like,
You're welcome to call me Mike Quackenbush, but that's all.
My recommendation to you is to come up with both a soft line and a hard line in advance so you feel well prepared for fan interactions. You'll know exactly what you're going to say when a fan asks you if they can come behind the merchandise table and give you a hug. You'll know exactly what you're going to say when a fan asks you if you take your mask off for a photograph. You get to decide exactly what your boundaries are, but it's also going to be up to you to enforce them. And any customer out there who isn't willing to respect those boundaries, they aren't a real fan anyway.